Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Crypto Hipster Podcast. This is your host, Jamil Hassan, the Crypto Hipster, where I bring you founders, entrepreneurs, executives, thought leaders, artists, you name it, all over the world of crypto and blockchain. And today, hey, I always have amazing guests. I have another amazing guest 100% of the time. This man I'm really looking forward to speaking with. He is the Chief Executive Officer, founder of Antier Solutions. His name is Vikram Singh. Vikram, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks, Jamil, and it's my pleasure to be here. So, looking forward.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it too. So let's kick off things with the first question, and that is, what is your background? Is it a logical background? And what roadblocks have you had to overcome to get to where you are today?
Okay, good question. So let me start by telling a little bit about myself. So I started in 2005. It was more of a circumstantial startup. I had a spondylitis, so I could not work anywhere. So I had to be kind of start something of my own. So that's how I got into entrepreneurship. And the initial few years were quite lean. I was kind of a one-man army. And it was in 2009 when I gathered the courage to have 5 people team around me and 1 month backup. However, that was the day by the grace of God. After that, there was no looking back. Today, we are close to 700 team members under one roof, and which makes us one of the largest blockchain consulting firm out of India. And our vision is to become the most trustworthy brand in blockchain space, Web3 space, and also bring our IPO down the line, or maybe raise at the valuation of a unicorn, raise at a unicorn valuation. And blockchain we entered into 2017. That was so we were quite early entrant, and it also marked our first year of I would say, like, we got into our own infrastructure, and that marks a little success story of my entrepreneur journey as well. So I was looking around, like, what should be my next growth driver, and crypto was making a lot of noise at that point of time. And when I dwelled deeper into it, and I was completely sold that the sacred vision it had, behind the invention of cryptos. So so we started with the building exchange platform. So thinking that when we can envision a paperless world, only this kind of platform will be required. So let's build a pinnacle of crypto world. That's what the kind of statement we gave to ourselves. And good thing happened. We evolved with this space. So from exchanges to wallets to DeFi lending borrowing protocols to NFT marketplaces to gamify solution to metaverse, which is our current focus as well. So that's how we evolved with this space. And if you ask us some of the customers, so we work with various enterprises and startups, and also help bigger organizations to and design their Web3 strategy. What should be their blockchain strategy? What should be their Web3 strategy? And a recent example is Skoda Autos, where we are bringing their second round of NFT drop, which went live just today only, and got a very good response. So that's what we are, doing.
Sounds good. So you talked about, you're in India, right? You talked about roadblocks, right? And you and I are a similar situation because I'm in the hedge fund capital of the world in Connecticut, US. You're in India, and things in crypto and blockchain were not always friendly in India, especially in the late teens, right? So how did you navigate that, and how has it changed since then?
Great question. So, see, we always believed in the power of technology, like even when we started adopting crypto. So, we always believed that whether the Bitcoin or per se any other cryptocurrency will be able to make it through the government regulation. But one thing it will be able to achieve, it will force the government to come up with their own CBDCs. And fast forward 6 to 7 years, we have already seen those things happening even in India. Like government is trying to have already like launched their CBDC in a retail level. And so we always believed in the technology, and we always try to solve complex problems which customer brought to us through but how we can, introduce Web3 into those problems, right? So one of the latest example, if I can give you that, we recently launched a product which is solving India's largest problem in e-governance domain, which is called question paper leak. So whenever the government recruitment exams happens over here in the various states, so the process is like the question paper which is designed goes to a printing press and then gets distributed to various centers. So very operationally heavy process, which pose a lot of challenges as well. So what we did, like we designed a solution on blockchain using geographical encryption, time-based encryption, and it's such a robust solution that we can challenge the entire hacker community to come and break it, and they will not be able to do that. And we did a couple of pilots for that as well. And we already created history where in first time in India, a question paper was designed in a trustless fashion and printed in a real-time environment, and that through blockchain technology. So we want to establish it as a de facto protocol, how the e-governance application will be designed in the times to come, especially in the e-governance domain. And coming back to your question, like how we navigated this thing, right? So most of our work has been for our Western countries, like out of India. So we are usually a kind of extension of as a kind of like a technology partner, or you can say the people who come to us, like wherein we sell our products which cut down their go-to-market time. For example, exchanges, for example, wallets, or NFT marketplaces, and even layer one protocols. We have very deep expertise in ZKP as well, account abstraction and protocol development. So that's the kind of like work we are doing. And so we always stayed with the technology part and try to capture the market share wherein the people had good legal structures, wherein the crypto friendly companies. So that's how we did.
Well, you did it right. You did it well. You have a 700-person company. So I want to know, what is Antier Solutions all about now, which including your vision, your mission, why Web3 blockchain?
This is again great question. So see, I relate blockchain with the trust. Blockchain for me is synonymous to trust, right? Whenever and you would also agree with me, like when we call Web 1.0 where it was static information, 2.0 where it was platform driven revolution, and 3.0 is like a complete ownership kind of stuff. So where the ownership goes back to the people, in the hands of the people, right? So if I creating something, I can always create an NFT where I can always be entitled to and every sale, whatever happens on my IP. So our vision, our brand promise, our vision is to become the largest, trustworthy brand in blockchain, Web3. And how we want to achieve that, because what we believe that being a leader in an industry is not a designation. So how we can achieve that? What we feel like we have to create those success stories. So we have given ourselves 4 goals, right? So to create 4 success stories in the next 2 to 3 years time, one in B2C, one in B2B, one in B2G, and one in B2E. So when I say one in B2C, we have got a very promising product which is in the space of digital currencies, and wherein we are trying to reduce the barrier to entry in the blockchain space, and especially also going towards the DIDs as well, decentralized identities, which is the one of the major kind of roadblock to overcome in order for the blockchain application to become mainstream. Number 2, we have a B2B. In B2B, we have an infrastructure tool which we deploy to give it to the customers which are already working with us. And number 3, as I said, like we have a very good product on the question paper leak in the business to governance domain. And last but not least, into B2E, where business to education, because 95% of our resources learned blockchain after joining us. So This we accomplished through our L&D division, which we had in-house, which has been spinned off as a separate initiative under the name and style of Antier School of Blocktech. So we are disseminating blockchain education in the nearby colleges and universities, and to start with from our local region, and we will go to the India level. So that's how we are trying to achieve our vision and mission.
Very cool. And you're also looking to activate blockchain adoption in the ever-changing new normal, right? What is your definition of the new normal?
Okay. So what I believe that technology will keep evolving all the time, right? So one innovation will lead to the next problem statement, and the next problem statement, when we solve it, then bring the new revolution as well. So I'm like, it's a kind of a circle basically. So when we innovated internet, right, so we had static information, then we moved to like mobile apps, so wherein everything could be accessed using mobile, right? And we saw that then the entire revolution, the evolution changed from a mobile first approach, right, to like from web to mobile. And then we saw platform driven revolutions where the platform became so big that they collected the personal information of the people, curated the content, curated their like the biggest hotels, like biggest companies in the travel industry, so without owning anything, right? So what I'm trying to say, like people's need to have ownership, they want to have ownership within whatever they create, right, will go up in the times to come, and which can be sold only using blockchain technology. So what we believe that in the times to come, the databases will be replaced by blockchains, wherein people will be able to create curate content, and also have a royalty kind of like ownership plugged into their content, so that they always have a share of profit whenever it sells again and again. So that's how my definition for the new normal. And we also see like as the cryptos adoption or regulations comes into place, the parallel currencies, the CBDCs will also come into picture as well, and the governments all over the world will try to build the features of cryptos into the like CBDCs as well, which I would say like the real revolution will be felt, because when you can program a money, when you can program money, that is where the true potential of the blockchain will be realized, right? When I can program, okay, this is the money which I am minting is meant for education purpose, or is meant for maybe the African regions, right? So that is where the real revolution will start happening.
You talked about databases, and I built databases for 20 years before I got into Bitcoin in 2017. And then as I saw Bitcoin as a database, I didn't at the time see it as money. I didn't realize I was stepping into a generational war between the boomers and the Gen Zs and millennials, right? You've built a 700 person company, and you have a lot of young 20-year-olds working for you. And so, I think that requires some kind of, incredible leadership in order to do it, right? So I want to find out how you get along, how you are able to build organization with, your workers as a younger generation, and, how like at the different levels in your company, and how the leadership traits people can take from what you're doing.
Great question again. So I would like to mention over here that average age in our organization, is like between 26 to 27, somewhere around, for most of the 75% plus team members. I would say I would say like even me myself is like maybe second and third eldest person, from the top. So there are two people who are elder to me, and I'm coming to the third place. And but it's a pretty young organization, which pros it's all gives is all which has all pros and cons, right? Yeah. So when so what is different, like how we can manage the the Gen Z generation. So I would say like before we claim ourselves to be in the technology, may to be in the the technical engineering, we say before that we are into human engineering, right? If we don't understand what people need and how to give them the pathways to grow, because one thing is very important the to young generation, that they want to have their own growth in their own hand. They would not leave their growth in somebody else's hand, right? So that is very important to understand, that how you can align their goals with organization goals, because organization can only grow when your people's goals are one step behind your yeah, behind the organization's goal, right? That is the only way. Like when all of your team members can row in the one single direction, your ship can run much faster, right? So it is very important to understand, what behavior, how you can incentivize the desired behavior in a way which ensures the growth of the organization as well as the growth of the people as well. So there are four ways, like people I would say learn. There are people who some people need direction, just like we have kids at our home in their early age, like maybe up to 7 years of age, they need only direction. When they grow a bit elder, same way in the office space as well, professional environment as well, then they need guidance, right? How to do something, when you are from colleges, they need a lot of people need guidance as well, direction, then guidance. When they grow a little bit more, older, then they need motivation. That they need to understand what is in it for me, right? That is the kind of FM channel which keeps playing in their mind, right? Before you want them or you get something done from them. And same way happen in our houses as well, like with our kids as well, and the teenagers. And one last thing which makes people take is the inspiration, right? When they cross 18 years or 20 years of age, then they there is a like intrinsic motivation, right? So and inspiration is nothing but leadership, right? When people would like to become like you, and or maybe would like to copy or maybe follow you, and that is where the true leadership comes up. So and I also believe that which you can't fake it, you the leadership cannot be faked, right? So this is how we try to navigate these challenges, working with the young generation, giving them the roadmaps, the pathways to grow, aligning and how they can their self goals can be aligned with the organization's goals. So that's what I believe. And culture is very important, because culture is the set of behavior exhibited by your senior leadership, or maybe the managers, the people who are involved in getting the things done. So if you are able to control those, the culture of those people, right, within those managerial positions, you are able to control the culture of the organization as well.
I'm I agree with you. I'm just thinking for myself, there's a conflict in the way that we look at blockchains, right?
Hmm.
I see a lot of the young crowd aping into meme coins, right? And when I look at portfolio, I try to minimize unsystematic risk by by having a well-defined like structure, like things that work and utility. And I'm like, it's the aping versus the versus the conservative management, right? How do you navigate that, and what can we learn from these? Because I can't ape into meme coins because they because I'm not crypto native, right? So how do you facilitate the crypto native people and the non-crypto native people and come up with with the best product and solution for your clients?
Right. So I would say we need to understand the behaviors, like the people who uh, are really interested in meme coins or maybe are crypto native, right? If you look at the today's young generation, they are so well versed with the latest what is happening in the technology space. And since crypto provides you a kind of an opportunity where everything settles instantly, right? In our and there is no barrier to entry as well, right? Even if you can keep your identity pseudonymous or maybe completely private and still enter into this world. And that's what the young generation likes. So any technical adoption happens with how our interest gets evolved, right? So we need to understand that part, right? Because the very reason why crypto got so much popularity is it provided the speed, the way they wanted to achieve something. It provided them. That's why they get inclined towards the meme coins as well, whether there is any value behind it or there is any kind of interesting use case behind it. That's not the objective. The objective is how we can achieve our goals uh, the fastest way. So so when we usually stay away from that part, right? Because whatever work we do over here, they are completely uh, uh, use case driven, right? When there is a right use case, that's how and we bring. And I always say that the biggest barrier to the adoption of the blockchain or maybe Web3 application is the three reason. One is like a regulatory, second is like the user interface, how we can ensure web transition from Web 2.0 to 3.0, and which requires technical and design thinking approach. And third is the like which is more like on the scalability side, right? So so our focus is mainly on the use case driven applications. And it is very important for us to understand as like what incentivize or what motivates those behaviors wherein uh, we can make we can help the customer for the customer acquisition as well. So that is also the kind of 360-degree work we do.
Awesome. So I could talk about that. I could talk about the use, and one of the budding use cases is real world asset tokenization, right? So, what does that landscape look like? And at a high level, and what's the future of RWA?
That's again a great question. So, uh, as per our study and findings and research, we believe that 2024 will be the year of real world asset tokenization plus Web3 gaming, right? And there is so much value sitting in illiquid assets. And if you look at India, we have Gift City wherein you can get yourself registered if you want to do anything in real world asset tokenization. Similarly, we have worked with a company in UK as well, which is registered with the FCA, and similarly in US as well, we have a customer who is working in this domain. And so we have our in-house platforms which empowers these initiatives. And this is our primary focus as well, because this is going to bring a lot of liquidity into the market. And we are also brainstorming and like building some products especially for this field as well.
Got it. So, one of the things that has to happen with the real world asset tokenization is this concept that keeps coming back. It's called trust, right? Blockchain is
Right.
trust. But in 2022, 2021, 2022, we had some things that caused lack of trust, like FTX, like Celsius, like the implosion of centralized exchanges. How can we restore and rebuild trust in centralized exchanges, or is the future going to be all decentralized?
So it's a very tricky question, because true decentralization is not a reality, what I believe. Like it will always be 2.5, right? Not exactly 3.0. And so the trust can only come as when you kind of stay very transparent and your leadership is visible in the public, right? So that is where, trust comes. And what I believe, like, what needs to happen, whether it is exchange or whether it is a real world asset organization platform, that, as we transit through the solving complex problem, like making those platforms which are user friendly and easy for users to adopt. But at some point of time, like, it also need the adoption by the leaders, because when a leader in the industry adopts something, the trust automatically comes down to the the local level, people's level. So it's very important that the industry leaders, whether they are into the real estate or whether they are into like financial initiatives or financial organizations, so they need to adopt these technologies first, right? And there are so many organizations working with the industry stalwarts and like with the policy makers to make them understand the potential. And I believe like a lot of bigger organizations now have started understanding the potential of these technologies, especially like the one of the US brand which came up with their NFTs and like giving a lot of value to its customers. So yeah, it is the leaders. It is important that leaders adopt these technologies so that trust can come automatically.
So you're saying like CEOs like Michael Saylor and Larry Fink from BlackRock and people like that, like every company, the leaders should be a champion for blockchain.
Yes, yes. I would say like you answered my question, your question only,
Okay,
in a
got it,
better way.
got it. Thank you. So I want to talk about another company that is under your umbrella, right? It's and crypto, right? Um, One of the things that I recognized there was something called DID, right? What is DID all about?
So it's a decentralized identity is basically what we are trying to, convey. And as we discussed earlier, the very first thing in the adoption of the blockchain application, is the, user onboarding. And as of now, if you would notice, like, we have user data, our data is with Facebook as well, Instagram as well, everywhere, like, sitting with a different platform, Microsoft as well. And a lot of thefts happen, like, with your private information, right? Especially in the healthcare side as well. So when you can, have your identities on blockchain, you will have the right to, share like who will be the recipient of that information. So you can always decide. And blockchain is, when it is, blockchain, you can rest assured that it will never be tampered, it will never be misused. So that's the kind of trust, it lends to the data. So DID is a bigger vision wherein we want to introduce usernames and bind those usernames with the blockchain so that you can keep your data over there, and you can decide with whom to share and for how long to share.
Got it. Okay. So when I see, because when I see everybody just try just going for the money, or going for the quick buck or whatever, I'm like, the promises of blockchain are far greater than just the absent just the capture of money, right? One of the promises is supposed to be, identity for the unidentified. You know, how do you help with, creating, identity for the unidentified, especially like in India where there are a lot of people without identity or recorded identity. So how can you make a difference there?
So I would say that is a kind of a goal which something which governments can do, right? Not at the enterprise level or maybe SME level, right? Because the one of the reason why cryptos were invented, like, it was very difficult for banks to set up a branch for in a remote area for only 20 customers, 10 customers, right? So financial inclusion, what I'm trying to say, right? So that is an initiative which needs to be taken by the governments. Only then these kind of things will happen.
And what do you see the government in India doing?
Yes, that's my personal opinion that the financial inclusion, the identities for the unidentified can only happen when when the policymaker, drives these initiatives.
Got it. Okay. Sounds good. So, I want to thank you very much. Actually, you know what? I want to talk about one more thing about your party roadmap is you have a call to action for strategic partnerships and why they're important. Why do you feel strategic partnerships are important for not just you, but for the industry as we move forward into this next bull cycle?
Yeah, so I would say when you enter into a strategic partnership, because in our case, we have a multiple onboarding, offboarding protocols, we have multiple identities protocols, we have multiple layer one protocols where we have partnerships. So how it helps us, like whenever we onboard a new customers and when we understand their use case, what they're trying to achieve. So when you have the partnership and the awareness about these your ecosystem, you can give them the best advice that this is, which platform is right fit for that particular use case. So this is where it becomes very important to have that kind of awareness and also the partnership within the ecosystem, because there are a lot of business activities happens within the ecosystem as well through the referrals and partnership activities.
Got it. I look forward to what you guys are going to be doing next. So, I now want to thank you very much for your time today. I enjoyed this conversation. I have one last question, and it's easy. It's how can people find out more information about you, about Antier Solutions? How can they become clients? How can they come work for you? How can they do any of that?
Pretty simple, like you can visit our website antiersolutions.com, or maybe just search me on Google, Vikram R Singh, and you will find a lot of information. And just get in touch with us. We always reply within 24 to 48 hours. It is the maximum time we take, but mostly we provide within like a very instant. So maybe just get in touch over the LinkedIn. You can find me Vikram R Singh on LinkedIn as well. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you, Jamil. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.